Hi, this audio recording is about the inner child. Now, this is a really big topic and it's something that I want to discuss in our session together, but this is just a little preview to hopefully awaken some curiosity in you. So, we all have an inner child within us that is essentially running our lives to a certain extent. And when we don't have awareness about the needs, we may find ourselves doing things or saying things that we don't actually intend to do. So I don't know if you've ever found yourself in a situation where you might think, I don't know why I just did that, or I don't know why I said that, or why I reacted that way. And you may be thinking, something just got to me, or I don't know what got into me. And oftentimes that thing is our inner child yelling at us for attention. This is particularly important to notice when we are triggered. When we are triggered, there's a part of us that is feeling some sort of pain and a part of us that still needs healing. Through this work, our relationship to feeling triggered is going to completely change. You will get to the point where your triggers will either stop being triggers, and when new ones come up, you'll even get excited because it's an indication that you get to look inward and see what part of you is needing attention. Now, I'm using the word triggered, but it's essentially an umbrella term for all of those visceral reactions that we have in our body, like anger, anxiety, sometimes even annoyance. Okay, so most of the times we are trying to meet the needs of our inner children through external things. So in relationships, for example, we seek relationships, whether healthy or unhealthy, that are going to meet the needs of our inner child. So let's say, for example, when you were younger, you experienced abandonment or abuse. That doesn't have to be super traumatic. It doesn't have to be like a really extreme case of it. It could be as simple as feeling abandoned if your parents forgot to pick you up, or if you were bullied in school, or felt unaccepted or unloved. Any of those things can, since we are children, we don't know how to process them, so they stay in us. And we keep manifesting these types of relationships into our lives. So if we felt we were abandoned or forgotten, we seek relationships in which we get abandoned or forgotten. As humans, we crave consistency. And when we examine our lives, we can often see patterns in our relationships, patterns in how we show up, patterns in our behaviors. We as humans are super consistent creatures, so it's important to bring awareness to these parts of us if we want to change them. I think for many people, we either don't have a ton of memories from childhood, or we tend to think that our childhood was better than it actually was. So as adults now, we get to reconnect to our inner child, give our inner child what she really needs, and begin to build a relationship with her. So whenever these triggers do come up, we know how to handle it. We know our emotionality. We're able to be with her and process whatever is going on our own without seeking external help or validation. So now we're going to hop into a meditation designed to get you to connect to your inner child. Now, this is pretty new to a lot of you, so take it slowly, feel it out at first, and be patient with yourself because this is probably the first time you've done something like this. So this next piece should be done in front of a mirror, so please pause this if you need to move. Okay, so if you can, do this sitting down, or standing is fine too if you need to. And start with really just looking at yourself. Sometimes looking at ourselves can feel confronting or even just uncomfortable and feel kind of weird to just be still. In my experience, mirror work has been really healing, and it's really helped me feel more comfortable and at ease with who I am. Whatever you're feeling and whatever comes up for you during this meditation is perfectly okay and normal. So the purpose of mirror work is to really begin to connect to ourselves, begin to develop a relationship with our body, with our inner child, with our souls, our intuition. So start with taking a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and keep your eyes open for this piece. Oftentimes, when it comes to our own self, we can be really avoidant. We oftentimes project our emotions on others. We may deflect compliments or find it hard to receive anything. So continue taking deep breaths. Lock eyes with the reflection in front of you and relax your body. There may be a part of you that is judging you. Choose to love this part of you instead of rejecting her. There might be some internal dialogue going on. Choose to love the dialogue. A lot of us have an inner critic that is constantly criticizing us, especially when we slow down and listen. But this part of us needs love too. This part of us is trying to keep us safe, and we get to show compassion to this part of us. Silence really allows us to face these thoughts head on and love them, as opposed to when we are distracting ourselves with social media, with food, with other people. Really being in silence allows us to address these parts of us. Now, this journey is all about healing through love. We get to process these emotions and we get to soften. I think a lot of times when we want to change or when we want to grow, we think it has to be this difficult process, or we have to do these rigid things, have a morning routine, do this, get the checklist, have all the to-do things. But it really can be a soft process at the same time. We can choose to love all these parts of us and really take it slow with ourselves. Honestly, it's going to be more beneficial to love all of these parts of us than it is going to be to create a to-do list and mark things off. Like it sounds cheesy when you hear love heals all, but it's the truth. Anytime we experience an emotion, a more negative emotion like anxiety, anger, inviting in love always makes it better. So just take a few more deep breaths here. And for this next part, I want you to close your eyes and connect with your body internally. Start to feel your heart beating. Breathe into your body, any parts that might have any tension. And I want you to visualize yourself as a young child. She's playing in a park, or maybe she's playing at home, anywhere where you would normally play as a kid. She's a few yards away, and I want you to visualize, what is she wearing? Who is she with? What is she feeling? Notice the lightness and notice the ease that she carries herself with. Take a few deep breaths here while you solidify the image of her. Now walk slowly toward her, crystallizing the image of her. Look at her face, look at her eyes. She notices you as you get closer, and you can tell that she is curious about you. Who are you and what are you doing here? You are now about a foot away from her, and you reach down and you hold her. You give her a big hug, and as you hold her, she begins to relax and let go. I want you to ask her the question, how can I love you more? And just listen for the answer. Really be with this part of yourself. And now I want you to ask her the question, what do you need most right now? And again, just feel for the answer. What does she need right now? Now I want you to spend a couple of minutes here with her. Even if you don't know exactly what to say, simply being in each other's presence will begin to develop a relationship with this part of you. Now coming back to your breath, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Allowing your inner child to have a voice and an opinion is some of the most healing work that we can do. Allowing ourselves to play, to just be, to slow down, to relax. Oftentimes we can get so caught up with the doing, the accomplishing, the productivity, the to-do list that we forget that there is a part of us that still wants to play. So I want you to come back to the questions. How can I love you more? And what do you need right now? These are two amazing questions to ask our inner child to begin to develop that relationship with her. I can't wait to hear how this landed with you. I will talk to you soon.